Hello everyone and welcome to chapter 191 of The Last Thoughts of a Busy Mind. This one titled Prey, the original, because we're talking about Prey, the video game. The original, not the remake. Anyways, before we go on, a few things. I am back on the new microphone, which is why I sound so much better, but there is worrying development on that front. I think my cable is starting to wear out, which means I need a better way of storing it, and if not that, then I need a new cable, which is another expense I did not expect I needed to make. My doing today is some water with some of the bubbles flavoring to it. You know, the ones used for soda stream, but I like it in regular water. It's still going to the cherry one, and by God, sour cherry is so good. Like, damn, that's good. Anyways, a few things have happened through the last week. The most significant thing being I had my anniversary of 2 years, my second year anniversary, and it was really fun. We went to the cafe where we went when we first went out, and then we went to a concert, which was fun. Yeah, I should usually talk about that. I also had a full-on mental breakdown last night, thinking I've done everything in my life wrong, and I've wasted my time, I've wasted everything, and that is what I would talk about if this season didn't have an official theme, and that is video games. We need to talk about video games, people. I don't know why I decided this season needed that theme, but it needed it halfway through it. It just became about video games, and it's gonna stay that way. So yes, let's talk about Prey. So I never played Prey, neither one, not the original, not the remake. Now, I have seen quite a lot of clips from them. I have seen a lot of gameplay. I have heard a lot about them. I've heard the praises and the insults of them. The remake never really caught me in a way that I wanted to actually play it. It just seemed a little bit too... I'm trying not to be rude or mean. I think the best way to say it just looked a little bit too mundane. Like, it didn't grab me to want to go and play it. It just looked like, I know this isn't a good comparison, but it looks like Deus Ex Human Revolution, and I was like, yeah, it looks like any other game. I'm not gonna play it. And I know that I may be angering quite a lot of you because I know a lot of people do love this game, and it's made by Arcane. It's made by fucking Arcane. Arcane is great. Arcane made Dishonored, which I don't know if I've talked about. I played it in 2024 and 2025 again. Love it. I haven't played the second one yet. But anyways, it's made by Arcane. I know a lot of people love it. It just never got me to go and play it, which I probably will at some point. But here's the thing. Now, you might be saying, why did you go and play the original then? Well, I saw a few clips of it, and that game really got me. Now, not just because of the immersive sim stuff, which is always a good thing. That's what I talk about. That's what I talk about in Fallen Arcs at the very least earlier in this season. But the thing that got me about the Prey was, first of all, physics shenanigan, which we will get to. I haven't played a lot of games with physics shenanigans, and the other thing that got me was the horror theme and how just straight up the game starts. It starts very straight. You get a gun and you start killing people, killing aliens. And I am at this point around 3 hours into the game. I haven't finished it yet, but I needed to talk about it because there are things actively working against me in this game that I love and I hate at the same time. Let's start with story, which in my notes I put story question mark because, okay, The story is very straightforward. You're living in a reservation. You are an Native American or of Native American descent, and you are abducted by aliens. Great, very straightforward. It's like if Saints Row 4 had a serious story, but and you're a descendant of Native American in Saints Row 4, which I think it can be. I don't know. I always picked a rough Australian voice guy, you know. So my Saints Row guy is always Australian. Anyways, as I was saying, sorry, this is a little bit rambly. I am cutting it a little bit too close as well. I have to be done by 8 p.m. The episode should be published by 8 p.m. and it's now 6:30 p.m. I'm cutting it a little bit close today, mostly because I'm just tired and I couldn't record it earlier. Anyways, as I was saying, the story is very straightforward, but the problem with how straightforward it is that there are a lot of questions as to what these aliens are doing, what is happening with them, why is the ship the way it is, and at the same time, I don't give a shit about anything. Minor spoilers, it's the first hour, but a member of your family gets killed by these aliens, and it's supposed to mean something, but honestly, it just didn't mean much to me, because I was just not invested in these characters. Now, that would be a problem if this was a narrative-driven story, and it's not. There is even a few scenes in the, I guess, ancestral planes, and even then it is more of an gameplay mechanic than a story bit. Like, I'm pretty sure if our character was a Native American, they would have found another way to make this happen. Now, I might be completely wrong. It is very possible I am wrong, and the story will become more interesting as I go on. I've heard the game is around 12 hours. I am a fourth of the way in, and so far the story really hasn't grabbed me. Neither has the aliens. Like, I don't really care about their motivation or what they're doing. It's just faceless enemies. Now, again, this would be an issue if this was a narrative-driven game, and as far as I've seen, it's not. Like, I don't care where the story is going because I'm not following the story. I don't care if the things make sense in the story because, well, I don't care about the story. I care about the gameplay and the world. And the gameplay and the world are fucking amazing. The fact that, okay, there is a scene, I fucking love that scene. You can stop, the machine that kills people gets stopped, but you can turn it back on. Now, I didn't know I did that. I just clicked on the first thing that came into my sight, and apparently that turned the machine back on. And I laughed my ass off. I felt bad. I tried to undo it. I couldn't undo it. But yeah, what did I expect would happen? Just turning the machine back on. And I just laughed my ass off. And it's all of these little touches, little details that make this game so great. I've talked more and more, I think, in this season about details and how they matter a lot. I might even do an episode on the movies at some point because that is one of the more detail-oriented games I've played. Details matter, and details like this make this world look better realized. And so you add that with a very fun gameplay. The game does feel flowy, but not in a bad way. You don't feel like you're sliding on ice. You feel like your character is actually walking very fast and very loose. And the shooting is also kind of fun. I don't love it. The puzzle, but I don't hate it either. The puzzles are a little bit on the too easy side. Like, if you see a puzzle, you know exactly how you're gonna do it. But at the same time, that's not a bad thing. But it just means that sometimes it gets a little bit annoying. You're like, okay, I know what to do. Is there a I can do this sooner button? I probably should make an episode about South Park, the fractured butthole, because, okay, that game has this problem by the spades. The puzzles and everything about them is so repetitive that I fairly early on just turned on the assist mode and you just press a button and the puzzle gets solved to you because it just was so like that. But Prey isn't like that. I don't want to bring Prey down. It's not like that. But at the same time, it's not challenging in its puzzles. It's not a puzzle-driven game. It's mostly an action shooter. An action shooter with physics. Now, this is where we get to the physics thing. Now, as I said, I didn't play a lot of physics-based games. The game that play with your perception of the environment. Perhaps the best example I can think of that I've played is Portal, which, great game. I love Portal 1, I loved Portal 2, but I haven't played a lot of games like that, the games that mess with your head in that way. And I know a lot of people love it, and genuinely I like it as well, but at the same time, I don't think my brain has the capacity. Oh, sorry, I hit my cable. Oh, sorry again. I don't think my brain has the capacity to deal with this physics stuff. And my mind is fucked. Genuinely, there are times, okay, there are rails in this game that when you turn it on, you stick to them and you can circumvent the gravity. You know, you can walk on walls and on the ceiling. But when you jump, and basically when your feet get detached from those rails, you turn around and the gravity works as usual. Now, I don't know if I can explain it well without showing you a clip, which is a problem of doing this on a podcast and not on a video. Speaking of videos, that was one of the reasons I had a mental breakdown. But I will hope to actually make something. I just need to, I am still dealing with depression and all of that, and it's really showing itself. The fact that I feel more unmotivated than ever in my life, and when I look at my life and I look at the life in front of me, I am not very hopeful and not very agile or motivated to get on with it. I just want to sit back and don't get on with it at all. But anyways, putting this minor mental breakdown aside, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the physics. it's I don't know how to describe it without showing you a clip, so I do recommend going and just watching some gameplay because it will break your mind. Like, I can't tell you how much my conception of space and gravity and what is up and what is down and what is left and what is right has changed when I played this game. And this is not even mentioning the part where you get small and you see a big alien coming and you realize, oh, you're on an artificial planet, or the portals. Oh my god, this game has portals. And I don't know how they work or where they take you, but I just go into them and go forward. And so some part of the game, I feel like I don't have any idea what's going on. I am just going through the motions on autopilot. Now, this is where another aspect comes in. I've talked about this being on autopilot a lot when I was talking about New Vegas DLCs, because it is a problem with a lot of RPGs, massive RPGs with like 300 or 400 hour gameplay time, that a lot of the side quests become kind of an autopilot. You know, you just gather quests, go visit 500 similar dungeons, and then go back and get your rewards, and the rewards aren't usually worth it. Now, I was talking about honest hearts when I discussed this. And I suggest you go and listen to those episodes about New Vegas DLCs. I would give you the chapter name, but my notes are a little bit out of my reach, and I am in a lot of pain. I'm not going to get into it. It's physical pain. It's kind of embarrassing, so I'm not going to talk what is giving me pain. Sorry. But yeah, sometimes games feel like they're on autopilot, and that is not necessarily a good thing. I don't like when I feel like I'm on autopilot, But in those games, the problem relies in that it's all feeling the same. It's like the same. So you're on autopilot, you're just doing muscle memory. In Prey, I feel like I'm on autopilot because I don't know where I'm going or what I'm doing. But I know I'm doing a lot of different things in a lot of different ways. And that's what makes Prey so, well, engaging. I have to be honest, my attention span has suffered a lot. I've just come to realize it more when I'm having trouble watching movies as frequently as I used to, or focusing on TV shows or stuff like that without second screening, and I hate that about myself, and I'm trying to change that. But one of the problems I have is I don't have as much focus when it comes to games that are like long and need a lot of patience in order to get going. I played 80 Days, the Frogverse game, and I just couldn't. I played it for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then I just uninstalled it because the age of the game and everything just meant that I just couldn't play it. The thing about Prey that is very good is that I always feel engaged. I want to keep doing more, and at the same time, I'm afraid that I'm missing things out. So I'm saying, like, okay, should I just do this, like sit down and play like 4 hours of this game, or will I feel like I'm missing things out, so I need to do it in like hour increments, or that is just again too much, so I need to come in every few days, play 30 minutes, then leave and come back every few days, and that is not a good thing to do with this game. So the game is engaging, it is incredibly engaging, but the engagement isn't story. And that is kind of fucking with my brain because I am one of those people who puts story first. I am the second episode, the second chapter of this very show is about the parenting simulator. A game, a text-based, sorry, a text-based game that is all about the story. There is genuinely not a lot of gameplay. I mean, it's multiple choice, but it's all about the story, and I'm always the kind of guy who is story first. That's one of the reasons I love New Vegas. That's one of the reasons I like even Pirates, because even though the story is bare bones, the story gives me motivation. Prey is one of the few examples where I'm completely checked out of the story, but I genuinely want to go on and see what happens in the next chapter, and the next chapter, and the next chapter. And it's an old game. Now, this is where I will tell you that I haven't played the game for the last 2 weeks because I've been doing other things and playing Sid Meier's as Pirates and Crusader Kings 3. Crusader Kings 3 is eating up a lot of my time. But I am scared of going back into the Prey. Not the Prey. Going back into Prey because I feel like I've forgotten a lot of it. Now, it's a problem I have with a lot of games when I spend any substantial amount of time outside of them. I'm always fearful of getting back into them because I'm like, okay, I completely forgotten how everything works, and that is true. But the thing that I feel shame about is that I really want to see what else Prey has to offer. Even though my mind is fucked, even though I feel like I'm an autopilot, even though I'm not engaged with the story, there are enough good things, there are enough details. The fighting is fun, the game feels flowy and tight, and it genuinely feels so good that I want to do more. I want to play it more. I want to go and see what I can do in this game. And this is where I have to basically content with myself that I need to just do it. Much like my problems with writing, the problems that I'm having with motivation, sometimes the only way to deal with them is just to quote Shia LaBeouf, to just do it, Just get in, get dirty. It will probably suck for at least 10 minutes that I don't know how everything works, but then I will remember, and then I can go on and keep doing it. And I don't know the point of this episode. I just like Prey, the original, and I do recommend going and checking it out. It still holds up, and it still runs perfectly well. So that's a good thing. And I will see you next week with another video game.